holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy.
We have come together. We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open, and we have gathered here in love. The Spirit is in this, the Spirit is in this place. The Spirit is in this, the Spirit is in this place. The Spirit is in this, the Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof, so raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. That's right. We sing and we sing in celebration, and we sing with words of prayer. We affirm all life, and we affirm all life as sacred. And we declare peace. We declare that peace is here. Oh yeah. The Spirit is in this. The Spirit is in this place. The Spirit is in this. The Spirit is in this place. The Spirit is in this. The Spirit is in this place. So raise the roof. So raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Yeah. Yes! Woo!
Blessed are we. Goodness gracious. Thank you, Ryan. And thank you to all of our amazing musicians. We have John Olson, Harry Olson, Caleb Kovar, Alan Ward, DJ MacArthur. And we also have on our camera Dan Eichenberger. So we want to thank him as well for his service. So welcome, everyone. We are so glad you're here and joining us on this absolutely blessed Sunday. If you are here for the first time, we welcome you. We embrace you. We love you. We are so glad you're here, and we hope that you find the center a warm and loving and welcoming place. If it is your first time, there are welcome packets back by the front table, and we would love it if you would fill a card out so that we know that you were here. We have our amazing altar today. Thank you so much, Pam Eichenberger, for this beautiful display of spring flowers. It's amazing. We also have in service at our center, we have a beautiful group of practitioners, and we are here to serve you. We're here to pray with you. So if after the service you feel called, we would love and be honored if you would allow us to sit with you in prayer. Anyone wearing a white stole is here to serve you. Also, a reminder about credit card payments can be made over here at the table if anybody needs to or would like to make their donation, their contribution to the center via a credit card. We have an update from our Ministerial Attraction Committee. And bear with me while I read this. We posted a package at CSL Home Office on December the 9th. Our posting period is 60 days and will close on February the 8th. Reverend Nan Bankstrom from Home Office shared with us the MAC committee, that she knows of 3 applications that we will be receiving for ministers who are interested in serving us. Isn't that amazing? Yes. She also let us know that most of the applications arrive the last day before the posting closes. So we won't know who or what is actually going on until that February the 8th date. But so far we have received 1 application in full. So that's very exciting. And we were going to do a visioning after service today. Some of you may have received that email. But unfortunately, Reverend Ahriana is ill today. So she is not here to lead us in that visioning. So we are not going to vision, but we are going to have our amazing potluck. So please stay and join us after the service for potluck. Also, very exciting and very cool thing that's going on here. We have a Bags for Homeless project. We are joining with the Parker Task Force to fill the bags for the homeless population. We're going to distribute them in Aurora, and we are going to purchase items such as socks, toothpaste, bottled water, protein bars, and other items to fill the bags. So please join us in helping make this happen. You can make a love offering of $30, which will be used to purchase the items to fill the bags. We will be filling the bags at Parker Task Force on Saturday, January 31st at 2 p.m. We would love to see as many of you there to help us with this amazing heartfelt project to help distribute or help fill the bags, and then the task force will be distributing them. So January 31st at 2 p.m., we invite you to help us fill the bags. And we're going to infuse them with love, of course, because we do everything in love here. So if you have any questions, Jennifer Drybread is here today, and she will answer your questions about that. But we're very excited about that. And we love that this center, our heartfelt center, joins in these community projects. So please, we welcome all the support that you have to give for that. A couple more things. Carolyn's workshop and Carolyn's class are both coming up. And since Carolyn isn't here today, you can check with Dr. Vern, our Dean of Education, and he's got flyers on this back table that describe what the classes and what the workshop's all about. But the gist of it is the workshop is Superpowers and Strategies for Empaths, and that's a 2-hour workshop on February the 7th. And then she has a class to follow that up with, the Empaths Survival Guide, and that begins on February the 19th. So, if you are interested in either of those things, you can get more information today from Dr. Vern. Carolyn will be here next Sunday. She can answer specific questions. But also, if you're ready to sign up, you can do that on the website. And the $30, all of a sudden, I'm sorry, circling back. The $30 contribution for the homeless bags, that can be made how? Oh, at the table. Okay. Oh, is it on the website? Okay. All right. Yeah. So you can either make the contribution here at church, or you can do it through the website, through the CSL Parker website. I just, all of a sudden, that ding. Okay. Please stay for our potluck this afternoon after service. And it is with such a grateful heart that I introduce Reverend Ahriana today to you all. Michelle. Where did I get? Oh, sorry. I was going to say Reverend Ahriana is not here. Forgive me. I'm so sorry. Dr. Michelle is filling in at the last moment. And we are so grateful. And of course, our prayers go up for Reverend Ahriana, and as she is not feeling well. And so with all that said, I'm here also I think I need to also, hold on. Dr. Michelle has been a minister since 1991. She currently serves as the lead minister at Mile High Church of Religious Science in Lakewood. Michelle is known as an inspiring teacher and leader who deeply touches her audience with her humor and her profound insight. So we are so grateful that she is here with us today. And with that, I will turn the podium and the microphone over to Colleen, who is our practitioner of the day. So thank you all for your... Yeah.
Do you ever notice when we make mistakes, all of a sudden we put attention on something? I think it works better that way, honestly. I have the pleasure of delivering our invocation prayer this morning, and I will follow it with our reading of what is already generating 4 candidates. So let's start with just resting into our seats and just saying from the very beginning, expressing appreciation and gratitude. It's gratitude for actually the abundance of the love and all of the devotion that we have in this center. This center that is the center of love for so many of us. Here is where we come and we call it our spiritual home. Here is where we are welcomed and we know that the perfection of us shines bright. For it is the perfection of us that we take out into this world. And no matter what the conditions out there, we can care for the conditions in ourselves. We create our perfect days. We create the perfect love. We are the creators of our lives. And if we work at creating that perfect life, we shine so bright that the world welcomes our energy, and it shifts and it sends the ripples that we are committed to send out into this world. The power that is so much greater than the losses that we've seen in the recent days. The power that we can bring peace to this earth, and that through every action, every thought, we change the energy and the vibrations of this world. And so thank you to everyone for coming here into this center of love of CSL Parker to share your love, to share your light, to share your knowing, and to send it out into this world that will just scoop it up to make a difference. And with this, I ask you to declare this release of this prayer by saying, "And so it is." If you would, you each had a card on your chair. And this is what we put out into the world as we look for that perfect minister to lead us. Read with me, please. We, the beloved community of CSL Parker, shall forth through the divine field the minister who is perfectly aligned with our soul's next evolution. We celebrate our presence as a high vibration community, heart-guided, love-expressing, alive in sacred service, and inclusive of all ages, races, and lifestyles. Standing as a lighthouse for humanity, we release all ego, resistance, fear, and urgency. And in trust, gratitude, and unity, we affirm that the one presence is already weaving the path that brings our minister to us now. And so it is.
And it's a new season. It's a new day. A fresh anointing is flowing our way. It's a season of power prosperity. Yes, it's a new season. It's coming to me. And it's a new season. Oh, it's a new day. A fresh anointing is flowing our way. It's a season of power and prosperity. It's a new season. It's coming to me. Oh, we declare this is our season. This is our day. A fresh anointing is flowing our way. Oh, it's a season of power and prosperity. This is our season. It's coming to me.
Breathing in the very breath of life, we just feel these words powerfully, magnificently supporting us and calling us to the truth of who and what we are. And to feel the light of that universal presence that shines brightly and boldly and magnificently through all creation, through, in, and as all beings, all things. And we breathe it in, and we recognize in this moment of meditation the warmth of that light that shines at the depth of our being, the warmth of that light that shines through us, that each of us is an expression of it. And so breathing it in, we just give thanks for the feeling of connectedness that is the true nature of our very being. And so no matter what season we are in, what we know is that we can count on that light, on that sunshine, on that light that is the divine, that we can count on the light of the universe. So we allow it to shine this day in, through, and as our words, our thoughts, all our emotions, our essence, our soul, our truest self. We can feel that light pouring through us and infusing every cell of our body and every aspect of our life with its properties and with its truth and with its warmth and its uplift, providing spiritual photosynthesis for any place in our life that we are seeking expansion or transformation. And we breathe it in now, gloriously, joyfully, feeling the ease and the grace and feeling every system within our being just calm. For we are poised now to be in receivership of all of the good that life has to offer here in this moment and in every moment of our journey. And so we welcome it, we give thanks for it, and we let it be, and we breathe it one more time as we step fully into this now moment. Thank you, life. Thank you, life. And so it is.
It's a new season. It's a new day. A fresh anointing is flowing our way. It's a season of power and prosperity. It's a new season. It's coming to me. the healer. You make all things new, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not going back, I'm moving ahead. I'm here to declare to you, my past is over in you. Old things are made new, surrender my life to Spirit. I'm moving, moving forward. We have risen with all power in our hands. You have given me a second chance. Hallelujah, hallelujah, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm not going back, I'm moving ahead. I'm here to declare to you, my past is over in you. All things are made new, surrendered my life to Spirit. I'm moving, I'm not going back, I'm moving ahead. I'm here to declare to you, my past is over in you. Old things are made new, surrendered my life to Spirit. Moving, moving forward. Oh, forward. I'm moving forward, forward. I'm not going back anymore. I'm moving forward. Oh, and you make all things anew. Yes, you make all things anew. And I will follow you forward. You make all things anew. Yes, you make all things anew. And I will follow you forward. Oh, I will follow. Yes, I will follow love forward. I will follow peace forward. I won't get stuck in that place anymore. And you make all things new. Yes, you make all things anew. And I will follow you forward.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you to all of you gentlemen. Beautifully done. So nice to step into a space with beautiful music like that. It's like, things that make you go, So thank you, and good morning. I'm so happy to be back. I hope that your new year is continuing to be a new season and a new experience of great joy. I know a lot of people set up intentions and resolutions and all sorts of things. You know, for me, I've been doing crunches twice a day now, Captain in the morning and Nestle's in the afternoon. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't really. I haven't. I saw that on a meme and I just thought it was so funny. It made me laugh. I thought, that's good. Another one I saw was, I thought this would be good. We could open this in Parker if you want. I'm opening a gym called Resolutions. It will have exercise equipment for the first 2 weeks, and then it turns into a wine bar for the rest of the year. Sounds good to me. I'm up for that. So, as I mentioned when I was here a couple weeks ago, it's really wonderful that many of the Centers for Spiritual Living step into this thing called Back to Basics every year at the first of the year. And so I've been doing some Back to Basics messages. And so no matter how long you've been a part of this teaching, we can always go back to basics and always refresh ourselves with some of the basic ideas. And if you're brand new today, then this is also a great opportunity for talking about, here are the basic ideas, here's some basic things that we teach. So it's really a wonderful thing we do. And so about 100 years ago, literally 100 years ago, 1926, the founder of our teaching, Ernest Holmes, wrote a book called The Science of Mind. It's commonly called the textbook. Now, the whole organization, Centers for Spiritual Living, which has had various names, was incorporated in 1927. So next year, we'll be celebrating our 100th anniversary. This year, we get to look at this wonderful book that he created. The 1926 edition is a fascinating study. In fact, my husband Ken and I, we do spiritual practice every morning, and lately we've been slowly reading that original textbook, as they call it, and finding some fascinating and amazing things. And one of the reasons that I say it's so fascinating, you might think, but you've been a minister for a long time. Surely you've read that book. Well, I have, but most people actually use a different version because in 1938, Holmes decided that he wanted to be clearer about what he really believed. And so he got an editorial partner and they redid the book. And they pulled some things out of the original text and put some new things in and moved some things around. And so it's been kind of a fascinating journey. I will admit that I like that original text. And I like it for a number of reasons. At that time that he wrote the original text in 1926, he was 37 years old. And it wasn't even his first book. His first book was written early in 1919 when he was 31. Creative Mind and Success. So I love young people who are like go-getters, they're out to do things in life and transform life and contribute to life. And I think Ernest Holmes was a person like that. He'd written many, many books by the time he even wrote this 1926 book. And so one of the big key changes that he made, I find really fascinating, is that in the 1938 edition, he started it out with 4 somewhat short chapters that one might call a quick start, so to speak. It is 4 things. The first one is the thing itself. The second one is what it does, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. The thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. So the message I've brought us today is just on the first little chapter, the thing itself. And the reason that I like this chapter, and the reason that I think it's important for us to consider it, is that at the beginning of a year, it's always good to, as many of us do, to evaluate our lives, to evaluate what's working, to evaluate what's not, to evaluate directions that we want to go into. And a lot of times that evaluation has to do with habits and things we want to change and that sort of thing, which is fine. And there's one thing that I think many of us need to revisit over and over, and that is, what is our definition of the creator of the universe? What do we believe God to be? I have said many years, all these years as a minister, that I believe that one of the greatest things about life and about this teaching is that we each get to continue to work and evolve our sense of the nature of God. And we all have places, pockets of places maybe that are born out of a time from the past, or even pain from the past, or a conflict in what we were told growing up versus what we see now or tend to believe. And it's important always to be deepening. And I've told congregations that I've gotten to serve, if I ever stand up in front of you and say, I figured out God. I got it. I know what God is. I've got it all figured out. I am an enlightened being who knows all. You should fire me. You should fire me. Because the thing that I feel pretty sure about is that whatever this creative source and force is in the universe, It will take each one of us probably our entire lifetime to continue exploring and deepening into and experiencing. And that place where we stop and say, I figured it out, is a place of arrogance. And quite honestly, it's usually a place of separation. And so the very first thing that Holmes does in this chapter, the thing itself, is he begins to articulate what it is that we believe about the nature of the divine, about the creative source and force. And he calls it a number of key words that you might hear. He likes to call it first cause, meaning everything that existed emerged out of it. It is the first cause. He calls it creative intelligence. He calls it divine mind. Now, when you're reading Holmes ever, one of the ways you can know he's using a phrase or a word to define God is he capitalizes it. It's also a little interesting, sometimes disappointing to me, that he continues and persists in calling God a him. His gender is male, right? All I can say is it was the 1920s, folks, and that was the style of writing. And we've talked many times at the CSL organizational level that if we wanted to rewrite or update his work ourselves, we would have more gender-inclusive language. But I also note that he frequently refers to this presence as it, and he capitalizes the I. So what we believe, firstly, as you encounter any work by Holmes, you have to understand that our belief as an organization is that the divine is above and beyond gender. It is all genders inclusive, that I do not call a God him. And for me, to call God him is to then disinclude any other person. So I'm not going to do that. I don't personally do that. And I have patience with him that he does. Good old 1920s young man that he was. So he refers to it as it often also. And he says in that chapter, the study of the science of mind is a study of first cause, spirit, mind, or that invisible essence, that ultimate stuff. I like that he capitalized stuff too, and intelligence from which everything comes. The power back of creation, the thing itself. And so he emphasizes some things that I want to call out in this invitation for each one of us to examine and deepen into our own personal cosmology about the definition of the divine. Firstly, he says very clearly, God is not a person. God is a presence. It's a presence. And that can seem really elusive to us, but he talks about it infusing itself in everything and how it created everything out of itself. This honestly matches much of what we see coming out of physics these days, and actually have for many years. There's some rumor that Holmes and Einstein actually met at a party one time and went off in a corner and had a very profound conversation. And if you haven't seen some photos, I find this very interesting. I have a personal photo of George Lucas, the creator of the Star Wars, standing in front of a shelf of books in his library with his young son. And guess what book is on the shelf? The Science of Mind. And when I ask AI, ChatGPT told me that Holmes did say that or George Lucas did say that he based his notion of the Force on the writings of Ernest Holmes. So if you think about what we're defining as God and you resonate with the Force, that word, the Force, if you listen to the language of the Jedis, even in the books and movies and the whole thing, they're talking constantly about your state, your energy, what you're thinking about, that sort of thing. That's what Holmes talks about, this presence that infuses all things. And the Jedis talk about that too. The Force infuses all things. And so this is the energy that we're talking about when we're defining God. Holmes says very clearly, It's not some distant, far-off thing that's out there that we talk to. I remember as a child, I came to the, I thought, brilliant conclusion that God and Santa Claus must be brothers. Now, the reason that I came to this conclusion is my parents told me pretty much the same story about both of these entities. That if I was a good little girl and did everything that I was told, every year on December 25th, I would get things, toys, and things I wanted. And I also was told that if I was a good little girl, then when my life was over, that I would be rewarded by this God person. So as I grew older, I'm looking around, are there any children in the room? I learned the secret of Santa. I learned that Santa is a presence everywhere. And that Santa doesn't need me to be good to bring me toys, because I will admit there were a few years I was bad and I still got toys. So I decided at the age of 5 that they must be lying to me. And I became an avid atheist because I refused to believe in an entity that would reward and punish me. And this indeed is one of the first things that Holmes talks about. He says, okay, so this presence that is God is everywhere. It's in all things and all people. It's a presence. It's not something far off out there. And it has no respecter of persons. In other words, it's not keeping track and rewarding those who are good and fining or hurting those who are bad. And we can see this in our world, can't we? We can certainly see that some bad people seem to have some pretty interesting rewards that happen in their lives, right? And some good people seem to have some pretty horrible crap that happens to them, right? So it's not about reward and punishment. It's not at all about that game, he says. Not one bit. There's nothing out there doing good things for good people and bad things to bad people. It's all about consciousness. He talks very clearly and wants to emphasize in this chapter, as he encourages us to have a relationship with this presence and understand who we are in the midst of this presence, that it's a presence and that it's impersonal. That it's like he calls it the impersonal law. And indeed, this is the first place where those of you who've been around for a while, he introduces the term love and law together in definition of this entity. And he says it's impersonal. It's like gravity that works the same for all. Gravity does not every morning wake up and say, well, that Michelle, she's doing good work. I'm going to let her walk on the earth. But Colleen, she's got to float today because she really made me mad the other day. She doesn't get it. She'd like to float. She floats most of the time anyway, so it's all right. But gravity works. Gravity works for everyone. And gravity doesn't care whether I drop a heavy thing on my foot or I drop a heavy thing on your foot. It's still gonna drop, right? Gravity doesn't go, oh my gosh, you're about to hurt someone else. I'm not gonna drop on their foot. It doesn't work like that. And he wants us to understand God doesn't work like that. And in fact, he uses the example very clearly in this chapter of if we took some crayons and we melted them, and I had 2 colors and you had 2 of the same colors, and upon melting them, we mixed them. They're going to mix the same for you and for me. Life is not going to say, I'm going to mix a prettier color for her or for someone else. So he wants us to really get, okay, it's not personal. Now, I have found over the years in this teaching that knowing this is both wonderful and freeing, because I'm happy to know that there's nothing out there sabotaging my efforts or wanting to teach me lessons or harm me in any way. But it also can be challenging, because sometimes when we feel helpless and we look around at things that are going on in our personal life, or we look at things that are going on in the world, one of the first questions about bad stuff happening that I hear humans say is, why would God let this happen? And I think if God had a voice, God would say, why have you let this happen? Right? That whether we're looking at our individual life, he starts to teach us and talk to us about how consciousness works in this chapter, which we've talked about many times, about how our thoughts and our intentions and our energy create our reality, individually and collectively. He would invite us to work together to change the things that might be going on in our life and to avoid becoming victims of the divine in some way, saying, why is God punishing me with this horrible thing or this challenge that I'm having? And I know it can be challenging. I have been in Science of Mind since I was 15. I had, that was just 5 years ago, right? And I had left the Catholic Church. I won't go into that story. But honestly, I left the Catholic Church pretty angry. I got kicked out of catechism. That didn't help. That was one of the strikes, for sure. Got kicked out of catechism. Some other things happened. And I just was angry. And so I, with my mother, began to search for a new church, a new faith, something that felt more aligned. Because one of the things that did not feel aligned to me at all in my Catholic church, which was a really lovely little church in Salida, the first one I went to, and then I came here. Actually, I take that back. I was in a Christian church in Salida. In Arvada, I went to a Catholic church, because when we moved here, my father, who has Hispanic heritage, suddenly demanded that we all become Catholic. So we went to the Catholic church. And throughout all of those churches, I could feel in my little soul that God was this loving presence that loved everyone. And the church would tell me that. My catechism teachers would tell me that. The priests and the nuns would tell me that. But then I'd also be duly educated in who was not lovable by God. And that just did not make any sense to me, even as a little child. I just couldn't get it. Like, why would you tell me God loves us all, but not those people over there? That doesn't make sense. And so there were things that happened. I left angry at the church, and found this teaching, which has been really freeing and wonderful, of course, for me, has changed my life dramatically. And I can still say that there are some moments, even after those years in the Catholic Church, when something bad or not wanted happens in my life or in the world, that I fall into that victim mode with God. Why is God punishing me? Why is God not letting me have this thing? And I also say that one of the greatest gifts of this teaching is that I've been taught to examine my thoughts, to see those little things that pop up and go, come on, Michelle, you know that's not what you believe. And every time it pops up, to challenge myself to align with, what do I really believe? Do I really believe that there's something out there that wants to test me and wants to make sure I do it a certain way, or it won't give me the goodie that I want? Or is it just that I don't have some sense of self-esteem or worthiness on board that would allow me to move in the direction I want to move? That's usually more the truth. Something like that is usually more the truth. And so those belief systems can be deeply indoctrinated in us about a God that is vengeful, a God that is testing, a God that is like, sometimes there was a period of time where I realized that I had defined God as my abusive father. That the word that I heard God say to me sometimes was my own father's voice. And I had to disconnect that and say, that's not God. That's my little child still going, oh, that's what, I have to be good. I have to be the good girl. And so I had to learn and I had to evolve. And I'm encouraging us all to evolve today. Whatever we believe, the good news about this teaching and this a community like this is that you and I get to believe in as much or as little of what's here as we like, and we're still welcome to be here. But it also means that we have to be willing to evolve and change. And he does, when he talks about God being love and law, he talks about how we have access to this conscious mind and the deeper mind, or the unconscious, the subjective, and that the deeper mind is really where most of our thoughts are emerging. So one of the greatest challenges for most of us is we actually think we know what we think. And we don't. And the way to know what you think is to look at what's in your life. That's what you really think. And it might not be conscious. Most of it's not. It's some deep-seated beliefs. And when we are willing to do the deep work of not only defining our sense of this presence, but also the deep work of what it is we truly believe, that's when we can really begin to be in partnership with the thing itself, change our lives. Holmes says, when he talks about our thoughts are creative, Since this is true, it follows that we cannot say that one thought is creative while another is not. We must say that all thought is creative. But here's what he says in this sentence that's so important to us. According to the nature, impulse, emotion, or conviction behind the thought. According to the nature, impulse, emotion, or conviction behind the thought. Thought creates a mold in the subjective in which the idea is accepted and poured and sets power in motion in accordance with the thought. Ignorance of this excuses no one from its effects, for we are dealing with law and not whimsical fancy. Now, that middle part is so important because I think it's also vital that we don't walk around going, I had a negative thought. Oh my God, cancel, stop. Anybody ever do that? Oh, I shouldn't think that. Every one of us has moments where the what if kind of floats through. What we have to also be aware of is the nature, impulse, emotion, or conviction. Conviction, emotion would be, is there fear when that thought comes up? Or was I just repeating something I heard earlier, just having kind of a surfacey thought about, and we have to understand. But what we have to be willing to explore are those conditions in our lives that are challenging, and what are the thoughts we've been having with impulse, emotion, conviction behind them. That's where we can begin to make the changes, where we can truly see the difference. In this, the thing itself, we can see that our life is much like a garden, and I love the synchronicity of these beautiful flowers here, because we plant seeds like thoughts in the beautiful garden of life, and they bloom into being. And number one, notice that how boring that might be if every flower were the same. We need every flower to be different. Remember, oneness is not sameness. We don't need everyone to be the same as us. We can exist in diversity, and that every flower is beautiful and unique and special. And it's the same of our thoughts, the garden of our own life. And even if we can look at the things that we don't like as flowers or weeds that we need to take care of in the garden of our life, we can begin to hold them a little lighter and be a little bit more creative about how we weed the garden. I mean, imagine a garden who showed up one day and wanted a beautiful garden and saw a bunch of weeds and just started crying and feeling like a victim and didn't do anything about it. What would happen to their garden, right? And that's what sometimes happens to us, which I can understand. It might happen for a little while as we feel so discouraged about the things that show up. But ultimately, there comes a moment where it's like, as a co-creator with the divine, pick up your bootstraps and let's make a change. I can change, I can shift, I can evolve. Things can be differently. Things can be different. I've studied with Mary Morrissey, and one of my favorite phrases of hers is, are you designing your life by default or by design? So designing our life by default is just letting the garden go crazy. By design is choosing to weed the garden, is choosing to tend the garden, is choosing to pay attention to what gets planted in the garden. What would I like to see occur in the garden of my living? And that's designing our life. And that's what Holmes says we have the ability to do in this chapter. So the things that I think we can do to put this into practice this week, firstly, to set an intention to deepen and evolve our sense of the divine, to think about and pray about these things that I've talked about. If you have the book, to read the chapter yourself and meditate upon what he says and the things that stand out, but to accept that our relationship with the divine presence is an ever-evolving thing, and if we want to go deeper, we get to contemplate deeper and encounter it deeper. Accept that we're always using the thing itself. It is our superpower. It is the greatest gift we've been given. We have been given the gift of being a co-creator. What am I doing with that gift? Am I using it to design the life I truly want to live? Or am I just sabotaging my efforts by constantly being upset and angry and frustrated and indulging in thoughts that no longer serve me. I love how the sun is shining on you back there. Remember that we're always in the midst of the presence. I love what Richard Rohr says about this. He's in his book, What the Mystics Know. We cannot attain the presence of God because we are already totally in the presence of God. What's absent is awareness. What are we aware of? Remember that all thought is creative. Choose wisely. Begin to choose our thoughts. And if there is an area that is bothering us, to stop and do a little thought inventory. What am I really thinking about here? What thoughts am I thinking about this that might be contributing? And notice how often we choose meaning when we cannot really know what is meant by something. Something happens and we just make meaning out of it. Remember that the meaning we make is not usually what's true. It's the meaning we've made based on who we are, on our experience, on our previous experience. And I got to do that myself because I had made a lot of meaning out of the Catholic Church, and I knew I needed to make peace with it, and now I'm at peace with it. I'm at peace with that community. I had many, many memories of the beautiful priests that would come to our house and bless holy water for me, that did my first communion and my first confession. All of these beautiful ceremonies I got to be part of, that I was held really in love and light in many ways in that community. And that being at peace with my Catholic brothers and sisters was important to me. I didn't want to walk around being angry all the time at another faith tradition. What good is that? It's not going to serve me or anyone. So finding peace and speaking peacefully about other people's experiences. A Buddhist teaching says, your worst enemy isn't a person, situation, or thing. It's the story in your mind based on assumptions and projected fears or insecurities. It's the story in our mind that is our worst enemy. When we change our stories, each one of us being a building block of our own life and the life we share together, we change our world. That's how we do it. This power builds our world. You've got it, I've got it. We are the thing itself. Let's pray about that now. Please join me. As we go within, we breathe into the very breath of life once more, and with great gratitude, we just fall into that sweet space of centeredness and connectedness. We allow ourselves to feel and sense the very presence that God is. And in this moment, we open our minds and our hearts to a greater enveloping and an embracing of the divine mind that is our true mind and heart. We open and receive and make ourselves available for a deeper listening, a deeper awareness, a deeper contemplation, a deeper possibility of the thing itself. We allow ourselves to say yes to it and to feel the opening that can happen the more we let the energy of this creative source and force have its way through us. And as we do this, we joyfully feel that presence as the building block of everything in the universe and of ourselves and our life. And we gladly release anything that's getting in the way of a deeper resonance with the love that God is and the peace and the joy and the wholeness and the harmony that it is. And so that means that we might need to let go of a sense of separation or unworthiness. We might need to let go of a sense of not being lovable or acceptable. We might need to let go of our stories about what some of the challenges we face have meant to us, and instead embrace stories that uplift us and invite us into evolution and growth and deepening as we look back and understand that every moment we have experienced has been a call to us to be more in connection with the divine nature of our being. It's as though every condition and situation in life says, can you see God in this? Can you be God in this? And in this moment, we say yes. In this prayerful moment, we say yes. We let ourselves step into this evolutionary moment. We let ourselves step more deeply into the awareness of ourselves as a co-creator. And we step in joyfully to the life that we'd like to create. We ponder it, we welcome it, we receive it, gladly and joyfully. I give thanks that this is the truth of us now. I give thanks that this truth is bursting forth into creation in the garden of our life, right here and right now. And in that gratitude, I simply release this prayer into the action of that law that makes it so, that love and that law and that beautiful alchemy. We let it be, we let it go, and together we say, and so it is. One of the places that we get to use the thing itself is in our giving, whether it's that we're giving our time, our attention, our words of support, or our financial abundance. Every time we give a gift like that, every dollar that we put into the plate or that we give electronically, it says to that deeper mind, yes. Yes to this place, yes to my abundance. And so as you give today, I invite you to do your giving with that energy of yes. I claim myself as an abundant being, and yes, because of that, I give back to a place that I love. And so as we go to prepare our gift to give, please say this affirmation with me. This gift I give is God in action. This gift I give is God in action. This gift I give is love in action. This gift I give is love in action. This gift I give is abundance in action. It blesses me and all whom it serves. It blesses me and all that it serves. Thank you, life. Thank you. And so it is. So it is.
Lay your head down tonight. Take a rest from the fight. Don't try to figure it out. Just listen to what I'm whispering to your heart. 'Cause I know this is not anything like you thought the story of your life was gonna be. And it feels like the end has started closing in on you, but it's just not true. There's so much of the story that's still yet to unfold, and this is going to be a glorious unfolding. Just you wait and see, and you will be amazed. You've just got to believe your story is so far from over. So hold on to every promise God has made to us, and watch this glorious unfolding. Oh, God's plan from the start for this world and your heart has been to show glory and grace, forever revealing the depths and the beauty of unfailing love. And the story has only begun, and this is going to be glorious unfolding. Just you wait and see, and you will be amazed.
As Dr. Barry would say at Mile High, not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We get to bless this offering, so we just take a moment to give thanks for all of this good that flows through this beautiful community into the life and the work of the community, knowing that we are blessed as givers, the community is blessed as a receiver, and the cycle of abundance is beautiful, powerful, and magnificent in, through, and as us. Thank you, life, and so it is. And as our benediction today, please say after me, something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is all that I am. Thank you, life. And so it is.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world. One more time. Let there be peace.